So Chelsea are in the market now for looking for a goalkeeper, even though Enzo Maresca had mentioned earlier on that he wasn't looking for a goalkeeper. So in today's video, we're going to talk about three goalkeepers that could be a possibility to come to Chelsea, and these are going to be three outside sources. So the possibility of them coming are not going to be high, but I also wouldn't be surprised if these guys actually came to Chelsea for 1 or 2 years because currently they still want to stick with Sanchez, which I'm still up in the air how I feel about this. But if we go to the article that I just recently read here, we are looking at Chelsea open to no new goalkeeper here, which again surprised me because you got to think about who we all have right now. We have Sanchez, we have Kepa coming back, so we're probably going to be selling him. We also have Petrovic, who we're seeing in this image right here, and this goes on saying that we may try to sell him to an Italian club here, and therefore, like I said, we are going to be needing another backup keeper or someone to pressure Sanchez to actually play very, very well. So my few options in this video, there's going to be three, like I said, who I think could be worthy of this. I don't know if they actually would make sense with Enzo Maresca because, again, in my opinion, it still makes sense going for Leicester's goalkeeper because he played with Enzo last season as their manager, as the goalkeeper. But that being said, we always want to see different options. Now, my first option, which I think would be a very good option because he wouldn't maybe start, but he would give a lot of presence at the club itself, and that is Wojciech Szczesny, and I'm going to mispronounce that Polish name. I do apologize. I've always struggled with his name. But he has the capability to come from Juventus to Chelsea and be a backup goalkeeper. If not, again, push Sanchez and take that role over for some time. He used to play for Arsenal, so again, he's not unfamiliar with the Premier League itself. Is a fairly good goalkeeper in my opinion, and I think he could really be a good keeper for Chelsea, a stopgate keeper for us to really figure out who we want to bring into this if we are not fully behind Sanchez. And right now, being 34 years old, he's getting a little bit older up there, but as we know, most goalkeepers, as they start to age, they actually start to turn like fine wine and start playing a little bit better, and therefore, again, this guy would make sense for us to go for him. Now, that being said, like I said, this isn't going to be a possibility because again we do not know exactly who Enzo Maresca actually wants to bring into this club, but he would be a good option. Now the second option that I think would be actually a good option is Ramsdale from Arsenal. And now you're probably thinking, well, he's a backup right now, he comes to Chelsea, he's going to be a backup again. If we're comparing Ramsdale to Sanchez, Ramsdale is going to be the better option for us. Now I understand he does have his flaws, there are issues, which is why David Raya has gone above him and played better, but I do think Ramsdale could fit the situation that Chelsea are currently at. Now, if he were to come in, he would definitely be a longer-term goalkeeper. It wouldn't be a short stopgate where we'd have him come for a year or two and then try to dish him off and sell him again, whereas like we could do with the other goalkeepers. But if he is the right fit, then we do not have to worry about a goalkeeper again, because in the last 10 years we've gone through so many goalkeepers: Kepa, Mendy, this last season with Sanchez, Petrovic. And if we don't bring the right guy in, so we say we're just bringing in some random guy again, there's a possibility that next season we're looking at another goalkeeper, and this whole cycle of trying to figure out who exactly to bring in gets very, very difficult, and we're spending more money in a position that really we should have solidified already, and therefore being able to start looking at different areas to actually spend money for this squad. But like I said, Ramsdale, again, makes total sense, is in the Premier League, has proven himself at Arsenal, though even last season he only played a handful of games, but the season prior to that, where Arsenal I think did fairly well with him as well, I think he still has a capability, especially with what Enzo is going to offer for tactical wise. I think Ramsdale can sit into that situation and actually play very well. You may argue with that, but like I said, this is another good option because clearly he does not want to sit behind David Raya, who again arguably should be starting for Arsenal, and therefore again they could probably get him for a better price than say some of the other goalkeepers out there. And the third one, who I think this again would make more sense for a backup goalkeeper, even though he's been currently a backup and may possibly want to push to be in a starting position, is Keller from Liverpool. Playing behind Alisson so many seasons. Yes, Alisson did pick up some injuries last season, but the fact that Jurgen Klopp really picked this guy and also believed in this guy and actually had him step up and play massive throughout last season and seasons prior to that. But really, even when Alisson got hurt, Liverpool's defense slash goalkeeping did not really drop too much, which is quite surprising with how good Alisson has been, with how great of a goalkeeper he is. I would say he's one of the top goalkeepers in the entire league, in the entire world. And so really to not have a really that much of a drop off when you have an injury to a player like him shows his worth. And being 25 years old, he really could be another goalkeeper that could sit into the situation and obviously flourish for a long time. Now, same thing with all the other goalkeepers. Do not know how well he'll fit into the system because he hasn't been in the system. We all know that with Jurgen Klopp, it's more just the hard rock, just moving forward, the gegenpressing, slightly different what we'd see with Enzo Maresca. But being 25 years old, there is a possibility that he could adapt to what we actually need. And he obviously knows how to work under pressure. He's played with some great players, especially with Virgil van Dijk. So he really does know how to trust his defenders, which sometimes is an issue with goalkeepers. I think that's been the issue with Sanchez and Petrovic, where they're just kind of booting the ball into the middle of the pitch. Whereas if you do have some type of confidence playing the ball with against your defense, yes, it can be a little tight. It can be worrisome for fans. But if you have a guy that has the confidence to play these balls in, really that does open up the other team because, again, they're going to come forward. You're going to be able to pass the balls, work around, which, again, we know Maresca likes to do. And as we just start picking them apart, it makes these open areas for us to continue our attack. And a lot of times now the attack does start from the back, especially with the goalkeeper. And this is why it's very important to, again, have the right guy in this spot, because if we do not have that, then it really disrupts our entire play style, because anytime the ball starts in the back, which does happen quite often, this is going to make it very hard for us then to work our way up the pitch and, again, try to score a goal. So Enzo Maresca obviously has his work out for him. Yes, he still believes in Robert Sanchez, but it does seem like there may be some issues, I'm assuming, because from the training itself, probably brings that to light now, and therefore, again, he's probably looking for different options in the market right now. There are a few different options. Again, my opinion makes sense to go for Leicester, but like I said, if he is looking for different goalkeepers that have a little more presence or understandability in the Premier League, these three guys I think are worth it. Again, if they can come for the right price, it would make sense for us to go for them. So I do want to know, who do you think would be the best option for Chelsea moving forward if we were to get another goalkeeper to, again, push Robert Sanchez or to even take his position and solidify the starting role as our goalkeeper? If you did enjoy this content, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe down below. I greatly appreciate it. I'm looking forward to your comments, and I will see you in our next video.